Hey, it's Chrissy and Amanda.
Two girls from Saskatchewan, Canada, living the Reiki life while working the 9 to 5.
Hey, welcome everybody to Living the Reiki Life. You're here with me, Christy, and my co-host Amanda, and we have an episode today, and we are going to be talking about child Reiki and breaking it down in our experiences. And yeah, it's a topic we've wanted to touch on for a while, so I'm excited to get into it. But first, we have our updates, and then we have a few announcements to make. So let's start with Amanda. What's going on?
Hey, Christy. So, really good update goes with the theme of the episode, doing child Reiki. So, when I was when Bo was first born, I remember I went to a psychic trade show with him, right? And I was pushing him around in the stroller. I bet you maybe 6 months. Like, I can't really quite remember, maybe a little bit older. And when I was pushing him around in the stroller, there was a woman there, like one of the vendors. She looked at my son and she said, "Oh my, I can still see his wings." Like on the back. Like I think she did like angel readings or something like that. And I was like, oh, right. I was just touched by it. And whatever, I just let it alone. And I was doing Reiki. I was doing a distance session with Reiki, and I had my daughter sleeping like on me as I was doing Reiki, like on my bear and things like that. And I always put up a bunch of protection, and I have her in this gold bubble too, so she's not getting any of this transference, if that's a thing. And it was funny when I was doing the Reiki and I looked down at her, I could actually see her little gold wings on her back.
No way.
And I immediately thought of that comment that lady made about Bo. And I thought, oh my God, I haven't thought about that forever. And it was just she had a little golden aura. It was almost like she was just in this little golden egg. And I could see just these little teeny wings on her back. Like they weren't giant wings, but just like little baby wings on her back. And I thought, oh my God. Even thinking about it now makes me like filled with energy and joy. It was the coolest thing. And it was cool that I like saw that. So it was a new experience. And yeah, so because I was kind of like, oh, should I do that if she's on me, do Reiki? But no, it was fine. It was actually an awesome session. And yeah, so that's my update.
Wow. Oh, that's so neat. And I love that lady stopped you and told you that. And then it makes sense later on too, and you see it yourself. That's just such magical or so magical. And I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and I hadn't even like really thought about it since till it like jogged the memory when I saw hers, and I thought, oh my gosh. Yeah, It was really cool.
Yeah, that's so special. That's a special memory that I feel like you'll always remember too. And you could tell her that when she's older too.
Yes, absolutely. I wrote that down for sure.
Yes. Yeah, write it down. That's so important. Because it's like, oh, I'll remember. And then it's like, no.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And you, what's going on?
Yeah. So I guess I share about the recent rabbit hole I went down. I've been like deep in Japanese philosophy, and it's so funny how things like unfold. It's like, when things pop up around, and then usually in threes, and it's kind of like, okay, there's something here. I should dive into it. And my one friend was sharing a quote from a Japanese samurai that really stuck with her, and it was a beautiful quote. And then I've been watching the soccer tournament, FIFA, and they showed like the Japanese team cleaning up their locker room better than how it was found. And then even the Japanese fans were cleaning the stands after the game. And it's just like, what is it about Japanese like culture that is just, I don't know, there's just something so fascinating about it. So I found some principles that they live by, and I kind of like did a deep dive, but one of them that really stuck with me is called Kaizen. And it's meant like, how do I explain it? It's like continuous improvement throughout tiny actions. And it's something that I really needed to implement into my life, because I'm all about, if something's not perfect, I'm not going to do it. So if I can't eat perfectly all day, and I say have a brownie for breakfast, then my whole day's shot because it wasn't perfect. Or if I ran out of time and I don't have time to do a 30-minute workout, I'm not even going to do 10. I just strap the whole thing, right? So I felt like this teaching just really rang true in my heart about how like it's 1% better every day. Like just do that tiny movement that will move the needle, because like change doesn't come from one grand gesture. It's like that's not sustainable. It's like if you make a change, a tiny one every day, it mounts into a bigger one. And it's just like, yeah, if you don't have 30 minutes to do the exercise, do 5 minutes, get your heart rate up, do something. And yeah, that's just something that I've been working on daily. It's just been on the back of my mind. And I'm even going to create like a poster on Canva, like that has the word on it. I have it in my mind. I just need to create it, and I want to print it out and frame it and put it somewhere that I see every day. Because it's just, I don't know. It's funny how I go down different rabbit holes, and just certain things just really mean a lot to me. So I don't know. Maybe that resonates with other people, but I just felt like I wanted to share that. And Mikao Yusui was Japanese as well. So I thought that like it's just so fascinating that we're here talking about Reiki, and I'm really interested in Japanese philosophy. I'm no expert, of course. Like this is just a brand new topic that I've been learning about. But yeah.
Yeah, I did hear about that, about FIFA and how they were cleaning. That is amazing. How inspirational. And I think a lot of people were really moved by that. And hopefully it promotes them to do the same thing too, right?
Yes.
Like, and you know what's really interesting? I love Japanese culture. If I could go to Japan, that is on the bucket list for
Me
sure.
too. Yes.
Right? And maybe that's also why we really like Reiki and just the culture and the story behind it, right? And how they really tap into chi and all that all that. You know what's really interesting when you said you've been like things have been coming up for you, you know, to kind of like plug you into that. Nordic things have been coming up for me.
Oh.
I know, like Vikings and runes, if anyone knows how to read runes, and like weird things like that keep coming up in my readings. It's so, and I'm like, should I be paying attention to this? And then I am kind of interested in it. But yeah, it's so funny how things like that just all of a sudden come. I know, and then you just kind of want to go down a rabbit hole and be like, well, maybe I should look into this and see if anything pops out. That's what I told one lady that or one person that I did a reading for. And hopefully they get something out of looking into that, because I was like, there's something here for you. And I have no idea what it is. But, you know, like you said, you just keep going down. But yeah, those little things too, just to comment again about it's those little things that make the big change for sure. And you got to do something. Yeah. Instead of just blowing the day. It's a hard thing though, right? If that's, you know, the way you are and the way you're wired, it's a hard thing to change about yourself. So it's good to have a reminder.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And just get rid of that perfection piece, because it's just like nothing's perfect. And yeah, it's funny. The Nordic stuff has been coming up. And actually, you know, I did a Reiki session today, and I haven't been drawing cards still because they're not resonating with me still. But when I was in her crown, I saw like a bag of something, and we were spilling the bag out, and then it was creating a picture. Like, you know, when you look into clouds and then you pick things out. And I was like, well, maybe it's like the ruins, like the stones. And it was like, no, it's like natural objects. It was like a leaf and a rock. And I was like, well, what? And then all of a sudden I went to tea leaves. And I remember you told me a long time ago that I should read tea leaves. And
probably.
Yeah. And someone else, massage therapist, Janessa, told me that as well. And that's just something I never explored, but maybe there's something there that I need to explore, because that's always fascinated me, the tea leaves.
Yeah, absolutely. It is fascinating. I agree.
Yeah, just to see how they play out, and then you can like use your imagination, and yeah, it seems kind of neat. But I already have so much on my plate. It's like, think of like something new was just, oh my God, it just pick one thing and stay in your lane. But yeah, anyways, yeah. Okay. Should we get into our 2 announcements?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
All right. Okay. The first one here is our Reiki circle for July. So it will be July 20th. It's a Monday at 7 p.m. Saskatchewan time. So please Google Saskatchewan time. And yeah, we thought, it's the summertime. We didn't want to do it on the weekend because lots of time people are not around on the weekend on holidays. So hopefully we can catch some people on Monday. So we really hope you can join us. The last circle, Amanda did a attunement for everyone. It was really beautiful. That one was a lot of fun. We had so much good conversation too.
Yeah. And we practice Hatsuri Ho.
That's what it was. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we did the upgrade attunement as well, but that was really cool. And I actually want to do that again. I hope everyone's into that.
Please.
I want to lead that again because I really liked it. And yes, and we put it in the evening so people who are in a different time zone than us, like way off from us, can hopefully make it. We're trying to accommodate you. So please come.
Yes. We would love to see you there. Yeah, different time zone. Maybe we'll get a whole different crowd. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And what else do we have going on? We reached a massive milestone that I never thought. I don't know. This just seems a little surreal.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So Chris, am I gonna share this?
Yeah, you share.
Okay. Yeah. So first I was like, what other announcement? So Christy and I, we made it over 100,000 downloads on our listening platforms for the podcast. Like, holy, so that's super exciting. And like Christy was saying, we never thought we'd ever get here, especially when the idea first came, wow. So, I mean, always shoot for it. And we want to give back. We want to do something for everyone who's been listening and a way to say thank you. So we are going to offer a joint session to someone. We're going to post this on our Instagram, and Christy and I are going to do a distant session and give you a report after. We think that would be the best way to go about it. And so if that is something you're interested in, we would love to do that for you. And we'll have the details. Christy's going to do up a thing and post it on our Instagram. And and then we'll announce the winner. When are we doing that?
I would say a week after. Does that give enough time or?
Sure.
Yeah. So we'll post it on July 15th. And then we can announce the winner on July 20th, I believe. Well, I guess not set in stone, but maybe we.
Is that the same day as the circle? It is. How about we do the 24th, which would be the following Friday? Yeah,
let's do that. Yeah.
Cool.
Friday to Friday.
And that's how we make decisions.
Yeah, done and done. Yeah.
Did I miss anything about that?
No, you got it covered. I'm not sure the details about it. The tag a friend thing has been like overdone. So I feel like I'm going to say like, leave a comment about your favorite episode or your favorite thing about Reiki or something like that, just to keep it fun. Because I love reading through comments, and it's just kind of a way to get a conversation going as well. So yeah, we'll do the draw, and one lucky winner will have a session with us. And yeah, Amanda and I, we haven't worked together in a few months. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. It's the best though when we do.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. It is. So good. All right. Okay. Well, let's get into the episode.
Yeah. All right. So it's all about kids and Reiki. So I guess like babies, kids, teenagers, they're all falling under that umbrella. And so we're just going to dive into like, what is child Reiki? Is it anything different than normal Reiki, or is it just Reiki? Is that where we should start?
Yeah, I think so. And then we'll talk about like how are the best ways to facilitate a session, and we'll get into all the things. But yeah, we always tell moms, get to level 1. Mm-hmm. Just do level 1, and you can practice Reiki on your kids. Because I know some people really think, well, that's level 2. Well, you can still Reiki your plants, and your pets, and do Reiki your kids. I know when I got my level 1, I wanted to put my hands hovering over everybody I could get them on. Right? How fun was that? So yes, always get your level 1, because to be able to do energy work on your child when they're sick is a massive gift. Like, you will be so glad you have that. So what does it look like for you when you're doing a session on a child? Do you notice any like big differences as opposed from an adult?
Yeah, like I work distantly all the time. So I've only done distance Reiki sessions with children. And yeah, it's really interesting because I feel like their spirit is like so open, and it's like things move quickly and we don't have like a lot of baggage to work through. And it's really actually refreshing in a way to work with children. It just doesn't seem like you're doing a lot of heavy lifting. But yeah, and I also think about if I was trying to explain a Reiki session to a 5-year-old, like say my niece, how would I explain this to her if I was in person? And I remember my one Reiki master, she worked with kids and she was really good with connecting with children. And she would like create like a magical realm. And like if they were into unicorns or fairies or turtles or things like that, she would pull that in and then like create this magical kingdom. And then if like say there was spirits in their room or something like that, she had a gentle way of explaining like things not to scare the child but to empower them. So I feel like that is something to think about if you are trying to explain Reiki to a child.
Yeah, that's a really good way. Is to kind of meet them at the level that they're at,
Yeah.
right? Like you would honestly with anyone.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if they were 12 years old, of course, then you would change how you say things. Like I think a lot of, I guess, younger or like people or sorry, kids at that age understand energy. I feel like they do. I don't know. I just feel like that generation, you would explain Reiki and they would understand it. I don't know why, but that's just a feeling I get. I haven't Reiki'd anyone that old with children. Have you?
What age?
Like 12? 12-ish?
Yeah.
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 And they understand
Yeah.
like what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. I don't know like how like deep the concept gets, but no, they definitely understand like what's going on. And I always meet them, yeah, at definitely a gentler level. And also when you're doing Reiki on a child, you always have parents' permission. If they're
Yes.
going to be if they're coming in person, the parent is always in the room.
Yeah.
And I would do this honestly, like I know maybe 16 sounds like they're old enough, but seriously, always just invite the parent to be in the room.
Mm-hmm.
If the child, maybe when like a teenager, they're like, "Hey, mom, beat it," like take a
Yeah.
lap. Like maybe then it'd be different. But definitely for sure under a teenager, parent is always in the room.
Yeah.
Always have parents' permission before you do a session.
Yes, that is so important because
Yeah.
like even I remember when I used to do Akashic readings, it was like I needed the parents' permission and then the parent would clear the record for them. So it's just there's that, yeah, it just needs to happen at that level. Cause I feel like I remember when I was helping you, Amanda, with a Reiki session of a kid. This was a while ago, and I was getting blocked
Yes.
information because essentially I didn't have consent to work with the child. Like I was just there and I was like, hey, I'll hop in, see what I can feel. And it was like I wasn't getting direct answers, and that was the reason. So
Yeah, ew, that was really good. I was really glad she was here. We were touching on kind of more sensitive topics to doing for that session. And I almost wanted moral support to make sure I wasn't getting misinformation. And I was just so glad that you were there to like hold the space while I went into that. And we were on the money, by the way. When the
yeah.
session turned, we found out after that everything that came through was actually correct about just things that were going on. And yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that was very interesting. And yeah, just holding the space. Like I was just grounding them in after
Yeah.
realizing that, hey, I'm not here for the messages, I'm here to hold the space. So yeah.
Mhm. So I've also done Reiki on babies in mom's belly. I've done Reiki on brand new babies. And I've done Reiki on kids kind of all ages. I actually have more experience in this than I initially remembered. Another thing that Christy and I like to do is call an Archangel Gabriel. He is the archangel that usually would help with children, right? Or do you call in any others?
I usually Archangel Metatron.
Oh,
Yeah. But I think
okay.
any of them can help, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
and really calling in the baby or the child's higher self, their spirit guides. Like, I mean, that would be definitely key as well. But
Yep.
yeah, I've done Reiki on people who are having, kind of like a high risk pregnancy. Can you send my baby some Reiki? There might be some kind of weird development. Um, I had a cousin who had a baby born at 20 weeks, so sent Reiki to the baby. And unfortunately, for the highest good was to transition over and just holding the space for that as well. And it's really interesting to kind of that was a different experience, Reikiing babies like in utero and being that early, that premature developed was definitely a different experience than Reikiing kids that are younger aged, I guess. That felt almost more connected to higher self and spiritual as opposed to doing a session on just a regular person, from
Yeah.
my experience.
No, that makes sense. I feel like they would still have one foot in the spirit world at
Yes.
that
Yeah.
in that stage, yeah. But it's so beautiful when we have these experiences and the parents trust us to do Reiki for their children. And kids are just, they're so fascinating, and they're always teaching us things as well. Like, I've learned so much by just being around kids. And yeah, it's kind of neat to think about. But yeah, we should talk about like what is helpful, or like why would a parent come to us for Reiki for their child? Like what could we help them through?
So I've helped kids who have, I know I have one parent. She brings her child in every time after they fly, so they can,
Mm.
so it can help ground him. And her child has a ton of energy. And I was actually thinking about this. Kids who have ADHD or ADD, because I was teaching about grounding and why we ground. So we ground to act as a release valve, so we don't have too much energy always running through us, right? So kids who have like ADHD, so they're like hyper and things like that, they need to ground often, all the time. They need to be outside with bare feet, so they have a way for all that excess energy that's always running through them to have a release, or else they're going to be, bouncy and all those things. So,
Yeah.
luckily this mom is like A plus, and she's super highly sensitive as well. And so she's doing all of the amazing thing. This kid plays tennis full time pretty well. Got offered to go play in Spain. Like, she just knows
Wow.
that he needs to be outside, have an energy outlet, and she is so in tune that she just knows. It's such a beautiful thing to see that parents support their kid just when they have energy like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can help with things like that, energy, when kids aren't sleeping, or even if they're scared of stuff that's going on. I find usually there kind of is a deeper reason. Hey, Chrissy, have you had this when kids are
Yeah.
like scared to go to sleep?
Yeah. I've had some actually weird things happen now that I'm thinking about it. I had one session where I'm going to sound like a total weirdo by saying this,
Nope,
but
not here. You're not.
don't judge me. But it's like this kid was scared because something was in their room at night. And then, of course, a lot of parents are like, oh, the boogeyman, it's nothing. It's your fear of or it's your imagination or whatever. But what was happening was, it sounds so bizarre, but it was like a galactic family was checking in on the kid, and the kid could see these guys. Like, it's like they were in the corner of the room peeking around looking at them. Like, how freaking scary is this? But of course,
Yeah.
they're not there to scare you. They're just checking in on them, and their third eye's open at the age they were, so they were able to physically see them. So that would scare the shit out of me if I seen that. So it brought some peace to the mom that, like, hey, my kid is actually seeing things, and there's nothing there that's ill will or anything like that. And then another one was, I think they were called like shadow people, where it's like they're kind of neutral. Like, it's not like they're bad, it's not like they're good, and they just hang around, and they're just, you can see the shadow of them, and they just kind of come and go, and they're just in your presence. That's the feeling that I got from them. And I just sent them on their way, and I never heard back if they came back. But that one was kind of weird too. So Yeah.
That's not weird, by the way. The galactic thing, not weird. When I was doing Reiki on the child in utero, one of the little babies that wasn't born yet, um, I also got galactic contact as well. And that's not like an every session thing, but I have had it in other sessions with adults too. Like they're connected to that other side and they just have a stronger connection than maybe others do. But no, yeah, that this is a safe place. I'm sure a lot of people would relate to or resonate with that. And if you don't, just leave it alone. It's fine.
Yes, but also you have to read the room and understand where the parents are at on their journey. Because if this mom wasn't open and on her own spiritual journey, and I told her that, she'd be like, what the hell? You're crazy. So it's just read the room and know your crowd is another piece of advice I guess I could offer.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Yeah.
Mhm.
You never want to instill fear and being like, yeah, there was a big boogeyman ghost in the room, but I removed it now. Because then it's like, what? Yeah. I mean, obviously, you would just word that differently and
Yes.
everything got cleared out. Because I have had where I've had to remove, there was spirit or something else going on in a child's room. And then after it was cleared out, they slept so much better. They weren't waking up like with hysteria in the night or just like having fear to go to bed. Like everything just like shifted and lifted and out.
Yeah.
So, if you're a parent, and I'm sure you would take your child at their word since you're listening to this podcast, but, like just kind of tune in, maybe even clear out the room if they're feeling like that, or you kind of tune in even after they go to bed and just set that intention and clear it out, or tell your practitioner if you like somebody else to do that. Maybe, an outsider
Hmm.
sometimes is better if you're too close to the situation, but
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great advice. And I also um, heard about creating like a little spray, like if you have lavender essential oil and some witch hazel, and then like it's called like Monster Be Gone spray, then they can spray it in their closet and underneath the bed. And I was going to do that for my niece, but then I was also thinking, I was like, this is kind of a way that's saying that there is something there that she has to get rid of. So it's like I wanted to empower her to come up with her own idea. So I didn't want to, so we didn't end up going that way. But I guess every situation is just so different. And you as a parent, as the guardian of the child, you have the authority to clear whatever is in that room. I believe. Just by asking, be like, hey, Archangel Michael, please clear the room of anything that is lower vibration. Just something as simple as that, I think is beneficial. Sometimes, yes, you do need to bring in the other people like us, but I would always try and do it yourself first if you feel empowered to.
yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And then other things too that are beneficial for Reiki for kids, like, if they're going through any big life changes or, feeling big emotions, and maybe it's not just like a 1 day thing. It's been going on for like a week or something longer. Like it just feels there's a deeper meaning. I would definitely be reaching out in that case as well.
Yeah, yeah, like bringing a new baby home, like they have a new sibling,
Yeah.
divorce, moving, like anything that's disrupting their flow, like their everyday flow, and you're noticing changes within them. Yeah, I think. And then the last one here is we have overstimulation. Like with digital stuff and everything
Oh,
that
yeah.
kids consume is just, it's so much. And I think that grounding piece that you talked about is like releasing that valve, I think is just so important for all kids with everything that they consume and are exposed to, just going outside and just releasing that. Or even, if your child's like younger and they maybe don't understand that concept, just at the end of the day when they're in bed, just grabbing their feet and just like pressing the bottoms of their feet, like opening a valve, and then just picturing all that energy flowing through their feet back into Mother Earth.
Yeah. There's actually pressure points underneath the ball of the foot. So kind of like right by the arch there, push into those. And I'm sure if you were maybe to Google, uh, I think it's acupuncture points, but
Yeah.
there's grounding points there that you can just push in your thumb into and ground them for the night, especially
Yeah.
if they've been having, yeah, if they're having a lot of energy or waking up a lot. Maybe I'd even try that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And then if you're trained in Reiki, of course, like there's Reiki flowing through your hands when they're at the bottom of their feet. And I think that might just, yeah, that just could become a daily practice, something you do.
Doing this on my baby tonight.
Yeah. Aw,
Sleep.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I wanted to talk about like how important the parent piece is with children. So it's like kids are so connected to your energy. Like I feel like their nervous systems match your nervous system. And it's just so important that, after they have a Reiki session that you're doing your self-care and you're taking care of yourself as well, because then they're going to match you. I think that's just so important that we honor that. And I know like a lot of cases that I'm learning through homeopathy is like when we're working with kids, yes, we can help the kids, but we need to heal the mom as well. Like that is such an important puzzle piece to healing the household. So if you're taking your kid for Reiki and you're just solely focused on them, don't lose sight of yourself and what you're going through and what you need yourself. Because a lot of times I find, when women go through motherhood and they have kids and there's lots of pieces that aren't healed as they move through like the kid growing up. I've dealt with different scenarios where like the kid is 15 and we're still dealing with the way that they came into the world, like their birth, like the mom is still holding on to that energy. So it's so important to look after yourself as well. So you're doing the right thing by bringing your kid for Reiki, but don't forget about yourself too.
I just heard something about how a parent, the mom, how the mom is regulates their own child's nervous system. I'm butchering that. Sorry. But yes, it goes into what you're saying. And it's very true. Mom definitely matters. I would almost even say, sorry, more so than dad, depending on what age the baby is.
Yeah.
Right. My daughter is 4 months. She is totally reliant on me, like 90%, right? I'm breastfeeding. I'm waking with her. I am the primary one right now. And like babies, especially, they can smell your fear. They can smell your stress and anxiety. Like kids really do. Like not even just babies, but kids too. Like if you're really ramped up because you're stressed out and it's a kind of a constant hum, they'll be able to feel that too. And it really does affect the energy and things like that. So definitely take care of yourself. I just reached out to someone too to have a session. And, I know I'm just in the thick of it too. And I thought, okay, I better do this. I can almost feel the film. I can feel the film going around my aura here. And even though I try to do the work, it's still like, we need an outsider sometimes.
Yeah, that's so true. Like self Reiki is so important, but yeah, sometimes we just need to relax and let someone else clear the space for us.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, we did touch a little bit about how I only work distantly with all my clients, so including the children, of course. But Amanda's had experience with in-person versus distance with kids. So like, what kind of advice or experiences could you share about the in-person sessions?
Yeah. So if I had to choose, I think distant is best. And I only say that depending on what age they're at. So it's a lot to ask for a child to lay still for 45 minutes, an hour. My children's sessions are 45 minutes, although sometimes they do take an hour. So I list them at 45 thinking, oh, they'll be faster because they're clear, but not always. And I find it a lot for kids to be able to lay. So one, if they are coming for a session, I give them the option. They don't have to lay down. I say they can sit in a chair. If they feel comfortable, they can sit on the bed. I let them really run the show. And I did have one girl, we led up to actually her being able to sit or lay on my bed. And it took like a few sessions for us to get there. But like the first couple sessions, she sat One, I think the first one she sat in the chair. And then the second one she sat on my bed. And I actually gave her a couple of my oracle decks for her to like flip through and look at, just to kind of help distract her and make it fun for her, kind of like what you said, Christy, about incorporating like fairies or things like that. And we just had like great conversation. I tossed her about school. I let her kind of lead, and her mom was in the room the whole time, so she was in a conversation too. And then I just kind of gradually would tell her what's going on and what I'm picking up, like work it into the conversation and then keep going. So that is good. I have had children come in where they just cannot lay, like they just have so much energy. I thought, oh my goodness, it almost kind of stressed me out as the practitioner, if I'm being completely honest. So I do find I do like those sessions better if they're distant. Although I did have one child that actually fell asleep, which was a miracle considering that they were very high energy. So I thought that was super cool. I thought, oh my gosh, this child's actually sleeping. Usually he's like running laps around my room and I'm trying to Reiki him.
Oh my
So yeah, I don't love that. So distant is definitely best for me. And also you can timestamp Reiki. So let's say you want to do Reiki at 10 o'clock in the morning. You can set the intention for Reiki to be sent when the child is sleeping at night and try that out. I know my Reiki master, she said she would send Reiki the night before for it to be sent the morning of her client would go to run a marathon. And the lady said she would always run way better.
Oh.
So just the things to keep in mind.
That's really cool.
But definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that timestamp because, I have a few clients in like Europe where our time zones don't line up. So, and she actually did a session for me it was 1 a.m. my time, and I woke up and I was like, what is going on? And I was in and out of sleep and I had the weirdest dreams. And then when I woke up, I saw her message and I was like, oh my God, I was getting Reiki. So I was like, yeah, just, time stamping it for 8 p.m. where I could just lay in bed and receive instead of the middle of the night. So, and I also like how you gave the oracle cards to her to play with. Cause it's such when they're busy doing something, I feel like it kind of lets their guard down. Like when I was talking to my niece about, with her, she's having issues with sleeping. It wasn't like, tell me what's going on. It's like, you have to lay the floor. And I was like, let's go check out your room. What's going on? Show me what's in and then she's pointing to all this stuff. And then she's like, this is my stuffy and this is his name. And I was like, oh, okay. So do you hold your stuffy at night when you get scared? Like you just have to learn where's your avenue to get in there? Cause I'm not around kids every day. Like I don't have my own kids. So it's just like, I have to learn their language and how they operate, I guess. And it worked really well. She shared a lot with me. I didn't get down to exactly what was going on, but it gave me a door opened, right? So
yeah, that's such a great thing. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I find as well, I think I posted this on my Instagram, but so my son, who's 3, going to be 4, he's not going to sit and lay for a session. No,
you can't expect them to. Absolutely not. No.
So what I do is I actually wait for him to go to bed and then I send him distant Reiki. I have my Reiki doll and I send him distant Reiki with my doll. So that's even my own son. I don't sneak into his room and try to do hand positions. No way am I going to chance him waking up. So I just I go downstairs and I send him distant Reiki that way.
Yep.
And that highly recommend for parents too, if that's something you want to do.
Yeah, never has to be hands-on. I love that. The distant Reiki within the same house. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even if it's your own. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, distance doesn't make the Reiki session less or more, I find. It's just as powerful. I love distance, so if you're ever questioning that, just know that what you're doing is still amazing. So Reiki's doing what it's got to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My last session was distant and I was like, I feel this.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And one piece of advice that I did want to offer is never claim that you can heal or diagnose anything. That's a huge thing in even in Canada right now. with things that are going on with the natural health products and just the claims that people are making. But yeah, in the Reiki community, we never want to say that, hey, your diet, or I see this. Like, just be really careful with your wording, just for your own protection, and just honoring what the parent chooses as well. Sometimes parents don't hold the same beliefs as you do with, say, medicating their kid or something like that. But always follow what, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is honor the parents and where they're at. And there was something else that I wanted to share about one session that I had with someone with their kid. Can't remember how old he was. I think I want to say 7. And there was a lot of things that came through that I shared with the parent, and she gave me a lot of kickback and didn't receive some of it well. And I was upset by that, but it was a learning lesson for me that A, I don't always have to be right. B, I might not be right. And C, I don't know that child like the mom does. So she is going to take it how she knows her kid. I'm just the messenger. So that's just another thing to really be mindful of, is that you're just there to deliver the message. And, sometimes it's funny, like my spirit guides are here. They're because I'm, sorry, I need to ground. But I had a Reiki session before this, and I still have all my guides here. But what I'm hearing is, oh, damn, now I lost it. Oh, shoot.
Those darn guides.
Yeah, I know. It was
so loud. Quiet down.
Oh, it was a good thing. But yeah, maybe it'll come back. But it was just, yeah, parents know best. And oh, no, sorry, it came back. Sometimes less is more when you're delivering messages to parents. So it's like that example with the galactic family in the bedroom. If I knew that mom wasn't spiritually open, I would just say to her, yes, there was something in the room, but we cleared it and we sent it away with love, and we closed that off. Instead of going into detail, hey, I seen these beans that aren't from Earth, and they were standing in the corner staring at your child. Like, sometimes less is more. So just be mindful of how you explain things. And sometimes it's left up for interpretation. Then the parent can interpret how they feel about what you told them. And just, you don't always have to be right. That was something I had to really let go of. And maybe things unfolded differently and things made sense. But yeah, just trust what you know.
Yeah, that's a hard one too, because you can't really get validation
Yeah.
from kids.
Yeah.
So if you're still kind of like new, and well, it doesn't matter if you're new or not. Sometimes you still want that validation, right? Even 6 years in the game, it's hard because you can't get it. And yes, we are legally not allowed to ever use the word cure.
Yes.
It's only general practitioners are allowed to use that, something that is taught in level 2. So yeah, be mindful about saying that to parents, or claiming that you're going to be doing anything like that. It's definitely an aid, and it works really well with other modalities and other healing things, and with their medications if they're on any. But yeah, it's a compliment, but we can't legally say that.
Yes. Yep. That's right. That's a great way to tie that up in a nice bow. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on?
I just think that, Reiki is, of course, it's very safe for kids no matter what age. And if the child cannot consent, you can always just say, if this is for the highest good of the child, send them Reiki. Maybe the child is sick and, you don't feel comfortable asking the parents. You can always just ask the higher self and just send with the best intentions. If it's in the works, if it's allowed to be sent, it will. Just no different than if anyone was in hospice at the end of life or things like that. So, I think that's it. And I would say, don't be afraid to give Reiki to your child and see what that feels like for you. I like to Reiki Callie. She's only 4 months. And when I did Reiki her in the beginning, I was telling Christy, her chakras were pretty not closed, but they weren't as wide open as I thought they would be. But when I went to scan her today before our session, because I was curious, they were pretty open today. So I think it was almost like maybe just the integrating into her little physical body here just needed to take some time. But Yeah, she was pretty open today.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And it's neat to check in, like
Yeah.
each month and just kind of see like where are we at with how open and closed things are. And yeah, it's a beautiful gift to know Reiki. And even if like you're like, oh, I never want to do Reiki for like a business or anything like that. But if you do have kids and you do want to learn Reiki, I think it's super beneficial to, take that leap and learn about energy and how all of that works. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, I think that's it, hey? Or was
Yeah.
there anything else?
No, I think we covered it all. So let's get into the card pull.
Yes, let's do that. All right, so for the card pull today, I am using Doreen Virtue's deck. I haven't used this deck in forever, called Angel Therapy, and it's an oracle deck. So I pulled 3 cards, and just to see kind of what needs to be said right now. So one of the biggest messages that is coming through is to clear yourself. So ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. So this actually reminds me of the episode when we talked about how parents can really give off a strong vibration, not only to the kids, but even to the whole household. It's funny. I really am getting this vision of like mom is kind of that heart of the house. So your energy and what you're kind of radiating really does have an impact on everything that kind of does go down. And I actually thought about something earlier. I don't know if Christy, if you've ever heard of this, but it's called burping your house. And so what that is actually open up all of your windows and get all of the energy out. Or even open up the front door and the back door so there's that air to pass through the front and the back, and burp the house. So get the energy out. And it's funny, when I transmute energy during a session, sometimes I'll burp and get that out. So if you're listening to this and maybe things have been feeling a little off or stagnant, open up all the windows and get that fresh air in, and get all that stagnant energy out. Take a feather as well if you want and just waft the rest out. But it is definitely one of the better ways, especially if you don't want to light sage or anything else. The next card I got was manifestation power. So use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. And then I also got beside that, you are profoundly clairvoyant. So what you see in your mind's eye, as well as with your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps you with your healing, teaching, and guidance. So you can trust what you see. And a lot of the time when we are working in this spiritual realm, especially when we're doing a session, sometimes we think like, oh, well, was that me? Did I just think that up? And we kind of get in our head about it. And then we have to remember that sometimes those messages just get dropped in, and we can trust what comes up and we can throw it out to our client and see if it resonates or not. But sometimes you just kind of have to take a leap and put yourself out there and be vulnerable. I mean, definitely, just going back to our episode again, if you need to vet things a little bit because you don't want to openly speak too much, that's okay. But still, just throw out even like breadcrumbs and just kind of see if anything is landing. And for this manifestation power, I said it and then I kind of jumped over. Your gifts that you have and your abilities to work in this realm, use that to your advantage when you're trying to attract things to you and you're trying to manifest. I feel like there's like a connection here. Like you are so connected when you're in the zone of doing Reiki. So maybe you should Reiki yourself when you're trying to manifest. Oh, that's interesting. Because you're connecting up to the higher source and you're really in that zone. I'm even seeing that you're kind of in a higher vibratory level. And that really is such a good time to manifest, as opposed to when we're kind of down in the dumps, as we like to say, in the dumps. So use that time to really focus on the good things you want to desire into you. So if you're waking up in the morning and you're having your coffee and you're giving yourself self Reiki and you're feeling really good about the Reiki flowing, work on your manifestations at that same time is what I'm getting. Okay, well, that's the cards. All right. that's it. It's kind of a different way to read I did today. I kind of did more of a your style.
Yeah, I like that. It's like tuning into the advice that the listeners need, and the burping the house. That makes so much sense. Just opening the windows up, because I open like the very top, I open both windows so you get that cross breeze going.
Yes.
And when I walk up the stairs, it just feels so fresh. I just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like pouring rain here for us. So I have all the windows open upstairs too. And I realized I should open up the front door, the back door on the main floor just to help with that too.
Yes, refresh. And do Reiki while you're manifest. Yeah, why not? I seen like a vision of like, when you're sitting with your hands open to receiving and like just feeling that energy coming in and going out. Yeah, I really love that. I never even thought to do that.
No, me either. Me either. That is how going back to that. What if this is me and I'm making this up or whatever? It's like, I would have never thought of it. That is way too good of an idea for me to come up with.
Yes.
Just saying. I'm like, oh, I love that. Yes,
thanks,
I should do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Good. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for listening to our episode today. It was so fun for me and Christy to do our own episode, just the two of us today. I know a lot of our listeners love these ones too. And make sure you give us a follow on Instagram. We're at Living the Reiki Life. And we have our own personal handles. Mine is Reiki with Manda.
And mine is the Birch Soul. And yeah, remember to check out that giveaway if you want to win a session with us. So yeah, we'll post that the same day. And thanks everyone. And we'll see you next month.
Yep. See you.
1, 2,